Hey guys, welcome. So, we need to talk. As we've all noticed, Kuro has dropped the drip marketing for the new set of characters, 6 characters to be precise, for the patches 3.5 and onwards. And overall, it has been received very well. Everybody's been loving it for the most part, with some exceptions granted, and everybody's been glazing it to absolute shit. And for the record, I totally understand why. It's just that I do think that it would do us all some good to really take a step back from the initial impressions, really look at what Kuro is presenting us, and decide with a clear head if it is actually good. So in this video, I am going to go over all of the materials that they have released, the video, the characters, maybe compare them to characters that we have received in the past. And of course, I am going to go over some of the leaks as well and just get my opinions off my chest. uh, I'm very interested in you if you have the same opinion or if it differs somehow. Definitely let me know in the comment section. And yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so all of my study materials are right here. Let's go over them one by one. First off, the video, which is probably the biggest piece of information that we have received so far. So let's go and get right into it.
Upon the abyss, Shuangfang holds stands. Engines within hum and span. Mechanic birds roam the land. Wind
Yeah.
breaths send the lark song far. Fan unfolds, dawn of truth draws near. Locked in the past, the prisoner lingers long. Into elusive depths, the loner treads on. Celestial sword guards the clouded pass. Clear moonlight drapes the lonely keep.
Yeah, of course.
Where it lies, one may wonder. Oh, it shall reveal itself to the one fated visitor.
Okay, so we've all probably seen the video. I have seen the video, just to put it out there for the record. Now, let's dive into it a little bit deeper and also go over the characters as they appear. Anyway, so first and foremost, what do we see?
On the
So,
abyss,
definitely, we are right off the bat getting, it seems, Mengzhou, which, if I remember correctly, should be the capital. I am not 100% sure. Let me actually check it out. 1 second. So, Mengzhou Wanglong. Let me see. Okay, so it's one of Wanglong's 6 major cities. And Wanglong is one of the nations, yeah, and cities. Geography cities following are all named cities in Wanglong. And Mingting is the capital, yeah? So just if you noticed, Sui Sui is the only character that is actually from Mingting. Everybody else excluding Yang Yang. She is, of course, from Jinzhou. Everybody else is from Mengzhou. Anyway, what can we see? So the city fucking levitates. That's the first thing. The city fucking levitates, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, as you can tell, I am definitely not mad about the setting. We are also, which is my also very favorite setting, we are getting a city deep within the mountainside. As you can see, all around the city, we are getting some serious mountains and cliffs, which is absolutely amazing, in my opinion, and I look very much forward to that. We can also see that it's probably going to be much more high tech than Jinzhou has been, at least visually. And yeah, so that's like my first impressions of Mengzhou, or at least from what I can read out of it. About the color scheme, we're just going to have to see. I just hope that it's going to have a little bit more of a character than Jingzhou has, because Jingzhou, like, let's just be honest, there's a lot of wood and a lot of white and brown going on, maybe a little bit gold, but those are the main accents, and not much else is going on there, which I think is a shame, and I just do hope that they will make it a little bit more colorful. Now, what I am peeved about before we go on to the characters. My main gripe with Kuro at this point is how they have decided to go about the storytelling and Rover's journey and the sequences of Rover's journey. Because, like, in the beginning, like, there is no harm. We got Jinzhou, then we got the Black Shores, then we got Ruina Sita. Cool beans. Everything okay. Yes, it was teased, alright, it was presented to us in a way that absolutely made sense. But then they have made the first thing that I have actually been a little bit peeved about. And this is the second time in a row that they have did that. So, first of all, we've got we got Shiyuan, our blind swordsman, who I absolutely adore, and I think that he is one of the most original characters in Wuthering Waves. His moveset definitely is probably the top three most original ones in the game right now, and most beautiful as well. At that point, together with Buling, we got very much back into the mindset of like Huanglong, or at least I did. And they have teased that there are some issues in Huanglong as a nation, maybe even Mengzhou, Mingting, stuff like that. So, of course, I have been very much looking forward to us going back to Huanglong and exploring different regions of the nation. But no, the Fraxides have decided to go to Lahai Roi. So for 3.0, we got Lahai Roi instead of Huanglong. And to be honest, I was really disappointed with that. Extremely so, because I have been hyped up about it, and then they just shot me down. So, and don't take me wrong, I have enjoyed Lahai Roi thoroughly. I think it's a great region. I love the characters, I love the story, and I could not be more happy with it. But now they have done the same thing again. Now they have teased us with what? The new Federation. The Fraxides going over there, starting their shit again over there. And because they failed in Lahai Roi, because it seems that the architect actually kind of still works on his plans, and even though we foiled his plans here and there, they have actually managed to accomplish some of their goals, which were kind of crucial to their ultimate goal in the end. So we don't know. But, and that's a big but, they have, as I've said, they have teased the new federation. So, of course, I have been very much looking forward to seeing, and with the Cyberpunk collab, going maybe into the like more capitalistic new federation and seeing what that's going to be like, right? And the Cyberpunk collab was an amazing entryway into that more urban style, even with NTE popping off right in this time. So it would make absolute sense to go there. What did they do? They have served us Huanglong. Again, ripping us out of the narrative, changing the narrative, returning us to the point pre pre 3.0, and just turning us away from New Federation into Mengzhou. And my question is why, Kuro? Why? It would make so much more sense to switch it up to first, after Rinisita, go back to Huanglong, do the redemption arc that we have been starved for, because let's be honest, this is the Jinzhou redemption arc or Huanglong redemption arc, because Jinzhou, they were still finding their bearings. The story, with some exceptions, and by exceptions I mean Changli slash Jinxi, I mean the Black Shores story, Camellia, and Shorekeeper. These three are my favorites from there, and but all of the others, mainly the 1.0 patch, were kinda not that good. So what I'm trying to say is that like the continuity would be much better if they went Rinasita, Huanglong or Mengzhou again, and then Lahairoi, and then New Federation. I would have been much more happy with that. Anyways, let's continue on. That's like the main point of my gripe right about now. Let's get on with the
Shuang
video.
Fang holds stand.
So yes, we are definitely getting like a much more, maybe, like Huanglong. It was always very also like scientifically evolved, but very much focused on that Chinese traditional aspect of things. So mechanical birds, going into that a little bit kind of like steampunk aesthetic, is absolutely amazing, and I do not mind that at all. Of course, we are getting Yang Yang. Now we are going over the characters. So Yang Yang, first and foremost, Yang Yang Zhuan Ling. By the way, I have looked it up. Zhuang Ling means mysterious, profound, dark, or deep. That's the first character, Zhuan. And the second one, Ling, meaning spirit, soul, number, or divine. Together, meaning like together the meaning is like divine feather or stuff like that. So that's for that. Anyways, anyways, Yang Yang, I am not mad about her, not in the least, because I wanted to see her glow up from the first moment that I have heard that she's going to get one, and she looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I have also pulled up the leaks that we've got a few days prior to the official release of the drip marketing. And let me say, there are some interesting details I would like to point out. There she is, like the first, in the first like leak that we've got through Sealy leak. And we can definitely see some differences over here. And like, let me be honest, like completely brutally honest. I would almost say that it looks borderline AI generated. Almost. But I am not going to diss them because of it. Anyways, uh her design definitely got a little bit of a tweak. We've got like much more color or a much more vibrant color scheme going on there. And Yang Yang look absolutely amazing. I do not have the slightest issue with her. Now, who I do have a slight issue with is definitely this girl,
The fan unfolds, dawn of truth
Sui
draws
Sui.
near.
Because, like, let me be completely honest. Like, what are we doing here, Kuro? By the way, this is Sui Sui again through or how she looked like in the first league. First of all, like, why the hell does she have the same kind of tacit mark as Yang Yang? And like, to be honest, it just seems like they are going to be sisters, maybe. That's the first thing. Second thing, I just kind of think that's just a little bit too lazy, Kuro. Just a little bit. Let me explain why. And for that, I have also an amazing tool. It's called the Jinjo characters. Let's look at what we got over there. We've got Jian, right? This is his sprite. We've got Yinlin, right? Absolutely amazing looking. Absolutely amazing looking Yinlin, as always. Absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got the Jinxie, my favorite character of the 1.x patches. Absolutely amazing design. Combining that sci-fi aesthetic with that traditional Chinese aesthetic. Then we've got, of course, Chang Li. And oh my god, we all love Chang Li. Of course we do. Then we've got Zhe. There we are leaning a little bit more into that traditional Chinese art style, quite literally in her case. And then we've got Zhang Liao, who again switched from the Chinese into the more sci-fi aspect of Wuthering Waves. Now, as we can see, the if nothing else, what they did get right in 1.0 and 1.x patches, the Jinjo characters of 1.x, was the diversity of the style. Because we actually have styles that are reminiscent of that Chinese style, that like traditional Chinese style, and sci-fi, while still keeping that breath of fresh air, that hotness in some aspects. Like, who am I talking to here? Right? We all know who the demographic is targeted at by this game. Anyways, in comparison to that, we've got Sui Sui, we've got Yang Yang, which granted Yang Yang looks amazing, but we've got Sui Sui. Then we've got Suoming. Yes, the one character that we still didn't get, the obvious lolly tsundere in Wuthering Waves. Then we've got, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but like I think it would be something along the lines of Xinjiao. Then we've got Jingran, which granted he looks fire. He looks edgy as fuck with the heterochromia, golden and green eyes, the fucking lantern, the spear. Of course, he looks like Zhao from Genshin, but like I actually do not mind him being as edgy because in comparison to the other characters, he actually kind of looks original. And of course, we've got Sin, the actual sentinel of Mengzhou. which is absolutely ridiculous. That's badonkadonk. Like, holy shit. And like, of course, I'm going to pull the Fox Mommy. Like, there's not even a question about that, because I am a big fat gooner. But still, my issue with these characters is that they are all, with the exception of Jinran, leaning heavily into that Chinese traditional style with essentially no sci fi aspect. Similar to what we got with Chang Li, and even she looks at least a little bit more modern, and that is mainly because of the jacket. So I really do hope that they are going to have some improved forms in their kit, but that's still just not enough, in my opinion. And to be completely honest, I just do feel like this is a little bit lazy. And that these designs, even though they are without a doubt very pretty and beautiful, the color schemes are great. Well, like, this is just bland. Like, to be honest, to be completely honest, Xingjiao, she looks very bland. Like, we are just getting a white and blue cryo princess, like, and a cryo sword princess. And she even, like, celestial sword guards the clouded pass in the, and wait for it, in the leaks she has something else written by her. The moon reflects the tide, and the tide embraces all rivers. In stillness, I listen to the whispers of the world. That would actually mean that Hassin is one sentinel from the story which we got introduced to in 1.2 in the moon chasing festival, because she was actually the sentinel that chased the moon in that story. Now, if we are to follow a little bit along and look at Xingjiao and what her, like this text says, we can maybe deduce that Xingjiao is actually the moon that Hassan chased in that story. Which brings me to another theory, and this theory would actually be the single theory that I would be okay with. Now, hold on to your trousers. Like, my theory is, and as I've said, the only theory that would actually make complete sense for all of these characters to either be directly or to be the resonators of all the remaining six sentinels of Huanglong. Now, that would be absolutely ridiculous. And at that point, I would take everything back that I've said about the lazy writing and lazy character design, because only then would the very, very traditional Chinese, like traditional Chinese art style make sense. So, yeah, that's my take on the characters, all in all. And yeah, so we've got, as I said, Sui Sui, the only one from Mingting. Then we've got Suoming, the lowly tsundere, of course, from Mengzhou. And we can even see that they have like these icons representing the cities. Like, I think I know that there is a actually slim to none chance of them all being resonators of the remaining six sentinels of Huanglong, but like, that would be insane in my opinion. So let's just move on to the next topic at hand. Yes, like, she probably is either the resonator of the Moon Sentinel, or she actually is the Moon Sentinel. She definitely looks the part. Anyways. So this is essentially it for the video. I've went over the characters, nothing else to see here. So what else do we have left? That's the that's the only thing that I haven't really seen, and that is the leak for the moveset of Yank Yank and Sui Sui. I know that it exists. A friend has told me. I still did not watch it, so I am really interested in that. So let's see what they have cooked up for us. Yeah, Yank Yank looks amazing. The glowing feathers, her activated, probably resonance form, stuff like that. Yeah, like no issues at all. She definitely looks okay. I need to turn it down a little bit. Okay, she definitely gives main DPS vibes. I do think that they should probably work a little bit more on the effects, because like the last sequence, like this exact sequence, looked a little bit like not really that climactic, to be honest. But like her sequence does look really flashy, does looks really interesting. Maybe a little bit slow, in my opinion. Yeah, it looks great, but like I just, from all of my experience playing Wuthering Waves, I just see so many windows for sequence interruption in this moveset that I'm just very interested in what the characters or the enemies are going to look like in Mangzhou. Yeah, like overall, those are definitely main DPS vibes. Though, wait a second. How? Wait a second. Maybe still sub DPS vibes. Actually, let's see how long her sequence actually is. So 13. Okay, so her whole sequence was less than. Okay, if we are counting the ultimate animation, her whole sequence was 15 seconds. Which, to be honest, either she's going to do such massive burst damage that it's shouldn't be legal, or she's just going to be a sub DPS and buff an element, which, in my personal opinion, is probably going to be the go-to way. Anyway, she also, like, I know how Kuro likes to glaze us. This is definitely arrow or gaslight us. And now for her. Yeah, like, I know that she looks nice. It's just like that traditional Chinese outfit is just like,
Rippling splendor awakens. Only fairies.
okay, shut up. Okay. Ah. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, I get it. It looks fucking peak.
Beyond lush haze, the rainflow emerges.
Although they do go really hard with the Chinese or traditional Chinese aspect. Like, that's extreme. And yeah, that's definitely going to be a buffer probably, or like a support unit. God damn it.
Rippling splendor
Like, as well, like, also definitely Spectro.
only fairies.
Well, either Spectro or they are adding a Hydro element into the game, which I do not suppose they will, but like, still. Oh my god.
Beyond lush haze, the rainflow emerges.
Yeah, so like, yeah, as I've said, like, I stand by my opinion. It just looks like they are trying so hard to steer us into the traditional Chinese aesthetic that it kind of feels forced. It feels forced, in my opinion, just a little bit, Kuro. So please get your shit together, and if you decided to go this way, at least do your best to make it memorable. The other thing is, actually, one thing that I have forgotten to talk about, and which is pretty also important, is the way in how the stories can actually mix together. Also, I have another theory, which I'm going to go over in a little bit. So, when we are looking at Lahai Roy and Lahai Roy and Star Torch Academy being so tied into the new federation, with the new federation actually being the biggest, like the biggest investor into Star Torch Academy, and the story naturally shifting towards the new federation, very similarly to how Septimond is very much like a part of Rinasita and intertwined with Raguna City. It would just make so much sense to go into the new federation right now because of the finale. Because the finale would give us an amazing playground where all of the characters from Roy and the new federation could, yet again, as in the finale of Rinasita, work together to slay the big bad, right? Would be absolutely amazing. But instead of that, we've got Wang Long, which, in my opinion, just does not mix well or as well as the new federation would with Lahai Roy. So I am very interested to see what they are actually planning to do, or if this is just a complete gaslight and we are still getting the new federation, which, to be honest, would be like the craziest stunt that any gacha dev has ever pulled. But still, I just think that this narrative choice is very peculiar, and one of my theories, and probably my like biggest theory on the topic, is that with NTE popping off and NTE getting out, they just didn't want to do another like major city, because the new federation really does seem like it's going to lean heavily on the urban vibe. So that could be one of the reasons why they did choose to forego the new federation first for the for Mengzhou. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, guys, thank if you made it all the way here, thank you so much for hearing or listening to me yap. And please let me know in the comment sections, what do you think? If you actually take a step back, if you actually look at the content that we have been presented with, is it actually good? Or is it actually that good as we are, as the first look is glazing it out to be? Or do we have actually a mediocre set of patches ahead of us? That's what I want to know your opinion on. So that's going to be it from me. Yet again, thank you very much for listening to me yap. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I wish you a blessed day, guys. Peace.